For much of her young life, Princess Leonor has been seen as the symbol of continuity for the Spanish monarchy. Graceful, disciplined, and increasingly confident in the public eye, she has grown up knowing that one day she will become Queen of Spain. But behind the carefully choreographed appearances and elegant royal ceremonies lies a story shaped by difficult decisions, family sacrifices, and conflicts that have quietly influenced her path from an early age. Many royal observers believe that the challenges facing the Spanish royal family over the last decade did more than test the institution itself. They fundamentally changed the environment in which Princess Leonor was raised and ultimately altered the destiny that awaited her. Today, we explore the royal conflict that changed Princess Leonor's future forever. To understand how Leonor's destiny was transformed, it is important to go back to one of the most turbulent periods in modern Spanish royal history. Years before Leonor began carrying out official duties, the monarchy faced an unprecedented crisis. Public confidence had weakened, controversies dominated headlines, and many questioned whether the institution could maintain the trust of the Spanish people. At the center of these difficulties stood King Juan Carlos I, whose reign had once been celebrated but eventually became overshadowed by scandals and criticism. By the time Felipe VI inherited the throne in 2014, the monarchy was facing one of the greatest challenges in its history. For the new king, restoring credibility became an urgent priority, and that mission would inevitably shape the future of his eldest daughter. King Felipe understood that preserving the monarchy required more than simply continuing old traditions. Change was necessary. Transparency, discipline, and a renewed image became essential elements of his reign. Alongside Queen Letizia, he embarked on a strategy designed to modernize the institution while rebuilding public trust. As a result, Princess Leonor's upbringing would be very different from that of previous heirs. Unlike royal children raised in less demanding circumstances, Leonor grew up during a period when every decision carried enormous significance. Nothing was left to chance. Her education, her public appearances, her speeches, even the smallest details were carefully planned. The conflicts and controversies that had affected earlier generations convinced Felipe and Letizia that their daughter needed to represent a new era for the monarchy. In many ways, the mistakes of the past became the foundation upon which Leonor's future was built. Queen Letizia played a crucial role in this transformation. Coming from outside aristocratic circles, the former journalist brought a modern perspective into the royal family. Reports over the years have often described her as fiercely protective of her daughters and determined to provide them with as balanced a life as possible. Her approach occasionally sparked speculation among royal commentators, particularly regarding how much influence tradition should have over Leonor's upbringing. But one thing remained clear. Both parents shared the same ultimate goal: preparing Leonor to become a queen capable of leading the monarchy into the future. This shared vision demanded sacrifices. Unlike many young people her age, Leonor's life has always been defined by responsibility. From an early age, she understood that her personal choices would never belong entirely to her. Every public appearance became a lesson. Every speech became preparation. Every ceremony became part of her education. The expectations placed upon her increased dramatically after her first major public speeches. Many Spaniards saw in her a reflection of stability and hope for the future. But admiration brought pressure. With each successful appearance, expectations grew higher. The young princess found herself carrying the hopes of an institution determined to avoid repeating the conflicts and controversies of the past. This burden became even more apparent during significant milestones in her life. One of the most important was her education abroad. Rather than limiting her experiences to royal surroundings, King Felipe and Queen Letizia decided to send Leonor to the United World College in Wales. The choice represented much more than academic opportunity. It reflected a philosophy that had emerged from years of royal challenges. They wanted their daughter to understand the world beyond palace walls, to develop independence, to build friendships, and to experience life alongside people from different cultures and backgrounds. Supporters praised the decision as evidence of a modern monarchy. Others questioned whether such changes represented a departure from royal traditions. But for Leonor, the experience marked a turning point. It gave her a chance to mature away from constant scrutiny and develop a broader understanding of the world she would someday serve. Meanwhile, the monarchy itself continued adapting to changing times. King Felipe remained committed to presenting an image of integrity and responsibility. Queen Letizia focused on protecting her daughters from unnecessary exposure while ensuring they gradually embraced their future roles. These efforts reflected lessons learned from the conflicts that had once threatened the institution's reputation. For Leonor, however, the demands never disappeared. As she grew older, public interest intensified. The media analyzed her style. Royal experts examined her body language. Observers debated her future. Even moments that would be private for most young people became subjects of international attention. Such scrutiny is one of the hidden realities of royal life, and perhaps one of its greatest challenges. Then came another major chapter: military training. Following the tradition established by previous monarchs, Princess Leonor began rigorous military education designed to prepare her for her future responsibilities as head of the armed forces. For many Spaniards, the sight of the young princess in uniform symbolized continuity and dedication. But behind the symbolism lay tremendous sacrifice. Strict discipline, physical demands, long periods away from family, and the constant awareness that millions of people were watching. It was another reminder that Leonor's destiny had been shaped by circumstances beyond her control. Had the monarchy not experienced the conflicts and crises of previous years, perhaps her life would have unfolded differently. Perhaps the pressure would have been lighter. Perhaps expectations would have been lower. But history had chosen another path, and Leonor embraced it with remarkable composure. Today, royal commentators frequently describe her as one of Europe's most promising future monarchs. Her calm demeanor, her confidence, her ability to speak before large audiences, her dedication to duty, all have contributed to a growing sense that she is ready to carry the crown when the time eventually comes. Yet beneath the public image remains a young woman navigating extraordinary expectations. Because behind every title lies a human story, and behind every crown lies sacrifice. The royal conflict that transformed Princess Leonor's destiny was not a single argument or a dramatic confrontation. It was something deeper. It was the struggle to preserve an institution during one of its most difficult periods. It was the challenge of rebuilding trust. It was the determination of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia to ensure that the future would not be defined by the mistakes of the past. And in that process, Leonor's destiny was forever changed. Instead of inheriting a monarchy comfortable with tradition alone, she inherited a mission. A mission to modernize while preserving history. To represent stability while embracing change. To inspire confidence in a world that increasingly questions old institutions. These responsibilities would shape every stage of her journey. And they continue to do so today. As Spain's future queen moves closer to adulthood and assumes greater responsibilities, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Her story is unlike that of any previous monarch. Because she was not merely born into a crown. She was born into a moment of transformation. And perhaps that is why so many people around the world continue to follow her journey with fascination. The royal conflict that once threatened the monarchy may have altered Princess Leonor's destiny. But it also helped create the leader she is becoming. A leader shaped by responsibility, strengthened by expectations, and prepared for a future that promises both challenges and opportunities. Only time will reveal the kind of queen Princess Leonor will become. But one thing seems certain. The events that changed the Spanish monarchy also changed her life forever. And the destiny that awaits her today is one forged not only by tradition, but by the lessons learned from conflict, sacrifice, and the determination to build a new chapter in royal history.